Hey everybody, this is Ian Hart here with Andre, and I'm going to do a live kind of interview or hopefully give you guys some inspiration and hope if you are suffering from back pain, because Andre here, well, I'm going to let him tell his story, but basically he was suffering from severe back pain that he thought kind of the things he enjoyed doing was done for a year. And well, let's ask him some questions. So Andre, for the people out there who probably can identify with some of the stuff you've been in, just explain to them what happened to you.
Okay, well, this back issue, my lower back, it's like the L4, L5 disc is what the doctors said was degenerating and bulging. That's been going on for maybe like 10 years or so, off and on. And I'm an athlete. I love to play sports, and basketball is like my go-to thing, a couple times a week. And for years it's been my struggle. And the last like 1 or 2 months ago, I had an injury. I had a guy kind of all on my back, and he after he kind of put pressure on my back, I just felt instant pain, and I should have stopped, but I kept playing. And that night, I couldn't walk. Like getting out of my bed, I had to use the wall, and like I was just like holding onto the wall to get to the bathroom, and it was just bad. So I sent like this text out to the guys, and I was like, "Yo, man, I think I'm done for a whole year. Like I can't do this anymore. My pain is just it's hindering everything. My legs weren't moving properly. Everything just felt off." And I got in touch with Ian, and we had one session. Within that one session, there was big improvement. Like I really wanted to get back on the court, but I chose to kind of sit it out for 2-3 sessions, and 3 weeks later, I'm back on the court. So,
Yeah, so we play together. So we basically in 3 weeks he was back out in the court. And how were you when you played?
Good, no pain, nothing. More so fearful to hurt myself again. So I was playing, kind of soft in a way, and but it felt good. And now, like the fear's kind of leaving me. I'm not thinking about it as much because before that was the issue. Is my mind was on it all the time. Even for years, my mind was on my back. And now it's kind of like leaving. It's kind of like it's in the past.
So that's one of the things I wanted to touch on is the fear. So not only just the fear of playing basketball, but like most people that I speak with, they put their whole life on hold because of their back, and they think like, oh, I can't pick things up, and I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't play with my kids, I can't lift my kids up. Were you dealing with that?
Yes, man. Like I spent most of my time with like my kids playing with like their toys on the floor, and I would lay down on the floor and play with their toys or whatever, and I would avoid things like picking them up and swinging them around and chucking them on the couch like I normally would, or taking them and throwing them on the trampoline. I would avoid all that, and I would, of course they didn't know, but my energy level was just low, and I just felt like if I did anything, my back would tweak out.
So quality of life has changed.
Oh yeah, tremendously, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so were you, I think I asked you this before, but were you skeptical about what we were going to do, or did you know anything about what we were going to do here?
I had no idea until you sent me the video of the stretches. I had no idea, but at that point, like I said, I was just seeking out any help I could get.
Right, yeah, so actually that's a good point to bring up. So initially I sent him some videos online that anybody can access, and he did those and he started to feel better, and then we met in person and did the whole program. And so there wasn't any skepticism about when you came in here?
No, I wasn't skeptical. I was in too much pain. I was like, man, He said he'll heal me. I'm gonna go in there and lay down, do whatever he say you need to do, you know.
That's actually the best thing. So no skepticism. And when you were done with the first session, were there any aha moments that you had that happened?
Yeah, I mean, like my mind freeing up. Like that's another thing. Like not only was the pain, like you know, it was less, but my mind was freed up, and you know, we talk about like it was a felt like you have a high, you know, and I don't know, it just you feel lighter, and then I also felt taller as well.
Better posture.
Yeah, better posture.
Yeah, which is, if you guys have seen some of my videos, it's something that I talk about how important it is. When your spine is more flexible, mobile, and in better alignment, you're going to have better thoughts, you're going to have less depression, and actually there's a saying that you're as young as your spine is mobile. So when we mobilize the spine, everything functions better, from your organs to your thoughts to just everything in the body, because you're sending the information better and faster from your brain down to the body. So what did you do before all this? Like you tried like, I think, a few things, didn't you?
I went to physical therapy through the years, chiropractic, what else? A couple of different chiropractors, physical therapy. I did stretches on my own, and then just working out, and you know, a lot of that, you know, it kind of eased the pain temporarily, but it just continued to come back. And this time I don't feel like it's coming back, you know, like after the chiropractic appointment I felt good, but you know, 2 days later or a day later, my mind is still on the pain somehow. Now my mind doesn't connect to that pain anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference here, you know.
Yeah, and that's a powerful thing. You know, it's no slide on chiropractors. It's just when you're doing the movements coming from your own brain, that's where the changes come. When it comes from an outside force, you're dependent on that outside force to make you feel good, which my whole goal is to teach you how to make yourself feel good. And it's all coming from the brain. Remember, pain lives in your brain. Mm-hmm. And we know that from phantom limb syndrome. When someone gets their arm blown off or taken off, they still have pain in the arm, but the arm's not there. So where's the pain actually? It's in the brain, and these are neural pathways. And so part of what we're doing is rearranging the neural pathways through the movement. So we just did the third session, and if you could just say, like, from the first, second to the third session, what were the progress or aha moments or differences?
Man, my technique is down now. The first section, I was trying to get my technique down. Some of like the frog legs was harder for me to, you know, have that mind-body connection. But now, like, I feel like I have it. I'm able to kind of get into the stretch more, and I'm feeling more relieved. The pain from the first, like after the first section, the pain just, it's been gone. So that's just kind of left. But my mobility feels like way better. I feel more limber. I can see from doing the stretches, I'm getting further into my stretch, you know, so, and I'm feeling it more, I'm feeling more of the stretch through my whole spine versus the first time we did it, I felt it like more in my lower back, but now I'm feeling it all the way in my whole spine. So,
yeah, because your spine is getting more mobile,
yeah.
And he's able to. Yeah, so maybe I might make a little snippet so you guys can see, and I've done this before where I do first, second, and third session, and you see how much more mobile the spine is for each person. And so you can try that out too for yourself, and that's kind of why we have like a special strap where you can increase your flexibility by grabbing different loopholes. Hey, for anybody out there, I'd love to hear where you guys are checking in from, which state, which country, and if you can identify with some of the stuff he's talking about, like the pain or even the results that you've gotten, you can leave that in the comments below. And so based on your experience, would you recommend this to anybody suffering from back pain?
Hands down, totally. do this program, and you know you'll feel. That's another thing. Your hips. I didn't even know I had hips. I feel like my hips now. I feel my hips. I feel, you know, I feel like I can salsa. I feel like I can dance and move and flow better. So I definitely recommend this versus chiropractic or physical therapy. I mean, they're all good, but on the same note, like for the longevity of things or for your body, I definitely believe this program is where it's at.
That's awesome. Like I love that you said dancing, because the way I think about it is basketball is a dance.
Yes.
And what I found in my life, being a baller, is that basketball players are always good dancers, because you got like good basketball players have the rhythm, and if you're locked up, your rhythm and flow in basketball is affected dramatically.
Yes, yes.
So. Cool. Is there any other last things, like say someone's out there suffering from back pain and they think that there's no solution or they don't have hope, like what would you say to that person?
There's hope, and it's a lot simpler than you think. It's just gonna take the drive to just sit down and do a few stretches, literally. If you can get through a few stretches, you could probably change your whole life within a few minutes.
Awesome. I think that's it, unless you got anything else to add to the people that might be watching, who might be suffering, and
keep striving, don't give up, you know, and you know, take your time and you know, put it in your mind, don't live in pain. Don't live in pain. You don't have to. You know, it's a false reality.
And the don't give up thing, I think, is really powerful, because the only reason why I'm here today doing this stuff is because I invested my whole life into figuring out how to solve my own back pain, and I never gave up. There were points where I thought, like, I had a doctor literally just walk out of the office with no explanation, no help, because she couldn't figure out what to do with my back. She had ropes down my spine that locked up my back, and she just said, like, she didn't give me any feedback. She just literally like was like, oh my God, your back, there's like ropes. And she was like, I don't know, and she walked out and left. And that was the worst feeling, and that was kind of the beginning of the end of when I stopped going to doctors, specifically general practitioners. And then I started to learn the body on my own. And so I'm here sharing this with you guys. So yeah, if you haven't done the program, I highly recommend you do it. And I hope everybody got some insight from this today, and love to hear where you guys are checking in from. He's from Cali. I'm from the other side, originally from Connecticut. So you got East Coast, West Coast here.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, guys.
All right.